Most people that are moving to Baldwin County, Alabama today start chasing those beach photos. Who wouldn't? We have some of the most beautiful beaches in the world, and we know it, we're spoiled. That's why we never even want to leave to go on vacation anymore. You're vacationing here every single day. But the people that are moving here and are being the most smart about it are looking at the numbers in great detail first. And that's what I'm here to help you do, and that's what I love. I'm Amanda Eckart. Welcome to Living in Gulf Shores, and if this is your first time here, welcome. If you're back for another week, I've got a lot of great information for you, so stick around as we get to what you need to know this year if you're considering a move to Baldwin County, and I am talking about all the details. If you haven't gotten my relocation guide yet, I break it down in so much detail it might put you to sleep, but I'm an information person. I love information, and so if you're an information person too, you're gonna really love today's video. We're gonna talk about, of course, the insurance costs and how those have changed over the last year because it's not the same as it used to be. The HOA rules, flood zones, salt air, and most importantly, the 6 major towns that most people are moving to, how they're different, what's great about them, what's not, and what you should consider if Baldwin County is on your radar. This is your ultimate blueprint to buying a home in Baldwin County in 2026. And it's gonna be a long one and it's gonna be worth it. But put your name in the comments if you want me to send you all of this in writing because I have spent a long time putting it together and it's gonna be so much to remember that you're gonna wanna get back to it for a reference. And I don't expect you to take notes. Just sit back, enjoy, and let me know if you have any questions in the comments. I've spent decades as a licensed real estate agent across 3 different states, and I've moved across the country more times than I can count before that. I've personally bought dozens of homes, investment properties for both long-term rentals, short-term rentals, and for short-term gains. So I have experience across all facets of real estate. This is going to be a no-nonsense resource for you and your family, designed to help you avoid some of the mistakes that I have seen buyers make and help you to feel confident, excited, and prepared about your move to Baldwin County. When you're ready to take the next step, let me know, and if you have any more questions, drop them in the comments. You know I'm always gonna get right back to you. But today, let's get to this long guide about everything that you need to know about buying a house here today. Trust me, you're gonna walk away knowing that you made the best decision, just like I did, and you'll be eager to get started on this incredible journey. So, why are you even looking at Baldwin County? Well, a lot of people can answer that question because of the tremendous economic growth that we have been experiencing. I know that's one of the reasons why I chose it when I moved here, because I wanted more opportunities for myself, but most importantly, I wanted more opportunities for my kids. I have 2 young daughters, and I saw the paths that young people were going on, and I just wanted to give them the most opportunities that I could. And when I looked at what was going on in Lower Alabama, I saw so much opportunity for them to build a real life, the life that we pictured growing up, where you own a house, where you have kids playing in the backyard, where you might only have one person working, or you're not just stressed out coming home every single day in that hamster wheel just to get by. Are we living to work or are we working to live? That's what I meant to say. I know I felt that way for so long, and so many other people did too, and that's one of the draws that Lower Alabama still has. You can have a very nice lifestyle on what most people would consider a normal salary. I mean, a lot of the people that are moving here right now have said, I could never have thought of buying a house where I'm leaving. But in Alabama, you still can. And that's one of the things that drew me here, not only for myself, but for the future of my children too. Combine that with the quality of life here, the nice people, the warm weather, the recreational opportunities, the beautiful beaches, and it suddenly became a no-brainer. And that is what so many people are seeing and why we're growing so much right now. We have a very unique market here, and the appeal is for a wide range of buyers. It's not only for retirees, not only for remote workers, but there's so much industry that's happening with the growth of the Port of Mobile, and because we are seeing so many people moving in, it's creating more job opportunities in a lot of other aspects as well, that the local economy is thriving. Additionally, the opportunity for people to own a wide variety of homes and new homes is bringing in all different ages and all different types of people. We've got families, working professionals, retirees, second homeowners, and investors. The region has a wide variety of gated communities as well as HOAs with pools and amenities. We have still rural spaces with wide open land and so much opportunity for growth to still take place here. As much as you're hearing about the growth, I often have visitors come and say when they get off those main roads, they did not realize how rural Baldwin County actually still is. Baldwin County is huge. It's the size of the state of Delaware. And while you hear so much about Foley and Gulf Shores, Fairhope and Daphne, all that space in between still has room for plenty of more change that could be taking place. Now, some people will see that as a benefit. Some people will see that as a disadvantage because you don't know exactly what's going to be coming in. But those are all things to be aware of when you're coming down to investigate the area. Also, our local real estate trends show that we will continue to have a strong real estate market here. Our Association of Realtors is constantly highlighting the strength of our market, and when you compare to other areas of the country, that trend is likely to continue for many years to come. So many people here are also calling saying that they want to get in now, even if they're not thinking about moving here for a few years, because they see that trend continuing too, and they want to get in now while they can still afford it and hold on to it as they see the prices continue to go up over the next few years or decades. From affordable single-family homes to luxury waterfront properties, when compared to other areas, there's still a lot of opportunity for our price points to increase. So let's talk about what you need to know about the different areas of Baldwin County first. What makes it so exceptional is the different towns do offer something unique for people that are looking for different things in their life. Beyond the stunning coastline and vibrant beaches, we have southern charm that combines modern conveniences. So whether you're drawn to the beauty of the Gulf and the lap of waves and dolphins swimming nearby, or the rich history of Fairhope with gas lanterns and wrought iron on Mobile Bay, there's really no place like Baldwin County. It's not Florida, and it's not trying to be. It has a flavor all of its own. So why should you care about that? Well, because this is more than just a financial transaction. This is where you're going to live. But it's still about investing in your future, investing in your lifestyle, and investing in your peace of mind. Baldwin County's market is unique, and this guide is going to take you through every step of it. So let's talk about some of those key cities. First, we have Daphne, which is currently the largest city in Baldwin County. And I use the term city lightly. Where I came from, the city was New York City. And I'll tell you, none of the cities in Baldwin County, in my mind, would qualify as a city. These are still more towns. There's no skyscrapers. And yes, while we do talk about traffic, there's no traffic like any city I've ever been to before. We're not talking Atlanta, Dallas, Houston, Chicago traffic. No, this is still, in my opinion, small town traffic problems. Yes, you will have backups on I-10 on summer weekends or up and down the corridor of 59, but it's not your daily commute to work. It's not going to put you back for 2 or 3 hours getting home to your family to eat dinner. So back to Daphne. Daphne is known as the Jubilee City. I always thought Jubilee meant like happy, a party, but no. Jubilee is actually this unique phenomenon that only happens in 2 places in the world, and right along the eastern shore is one of them, where the oxygen levels in the water get so low that it draws all the fish and sea life up to the surface, and you can literally just scoop it out with buckets. You don't know when it's coming, but when it does, word starts to spread and people will be out there gathering flounder and shrimp and all kinds of goodies right on the shoreline. In addition to that, you have beautiful views of Mobile Bay, stunning sunsets, gorgeous places to walk under live oak trees, some of the best schools in the state, that is a huge draw for families, and an easy commute to Mobile and Pensacola. You've got a wide variety of home choices, from new construction neighborhoods all the way to historic mansions overlooking the water, and a lot of shopping and dining options nearby. This is a great choice for people that want small town feel but suburban living at the same time. The next, and one of the most frequently requested areas, is Fairhope. Fairhope is listed as one of the most charming towns in the entire country, and anyone who visits it sees why immediately. It's an artsy community known for its vibrant local shops, restaurants, and galleries. Its picturesque streets and bay views combined with the excellent schools make it a top choice for families and retirees and for those who like that artsy vibe. Actually, this weekend coming up is the Fairhope Arts Festival, which draws in hundreds of thousands of people from across the country to stroll the streets and see all the artists and their works every single year. The housing can be a little bit more limited than in some of the other areas, but Fairhope is a lot larger than just the downtown area. Geographically, it expands far beyond the downtown, and you will still find there are rural areas of Fairhope, but it's going to take you sometimes further to drive from the south side of Fairhope to downtown Fairhope than it would from Daphne to downtown Fairhope. So just because you're in Fairhope doesn't mean you're in downtown Fairhope, and it's important to understand the geography of the area if that's an area on your radar. But there's all kinds of great events, festivals, live music that go on there that can be enjoyed whether you're a resident of Fairhope or coming in from nearby. So it's definitely a great place to check out. The next place on my list is Spanish Fort, and this is one of the fastest growing areas that I see right now in Baldwin County. So much new construction is going on there, and the north side of I-10 offers some great new neighborhoods, great schools, and is attracting families from all over the place right now. While it doesn't have so much of a downtown feel, it does have the Eastern Shore Center, which will still have some parades, and they kind of treat it like a downtown as far as the residents of the area go, so you have a community hub. If you want amenities and still have access to the water with some really great housing options, Spanish Fort offers nature and modern conveniences close by. Now let's talk about Foley, the fastest growing city right now in Baldwin County. There are new neighborhoods popping up all up and down the 59 and Baldwin Beach Express areas of Foley right now, and so many people are calling to be close to the beach without being at the beach. You can get more for your money and save on affordability with the conveniences of the OWA amusement park with the hot air balloon festival every year, outdoor amusement park, indoor water park, shops, restaurants, comedy shows going on, a little lake. It's a really great area that is still developing into something that's going to be spectacular. Additionally, you have the Tanger outlets, a lot of the big box stores, and Foley is attracting much of the retail and economic growth to Baldwin County right now. There's a strong market for both single-family homes and investment properties with the sports complex that is also bringing families from across the region to come and vacation and stay a little extra after their kids have their tournaments. And last but not least, we have Gulf Shores and Orange Beach. If you are craving coastal living, there is no better place to get the mix of miles of white sandy beaches, boating, fishing, a vibrant entertainment scene, all at a much affordable price than most of the other coastal towns that are left nearby. Real estate in these areas include beachside condos, luxury waterfront properties and vacation homes, as well as single-family homes that are near the water or more inland with great school districts as well, making it a top market for families and those looking to invest in property near the Gulf. So while Baldwin County school districts I touched on a little bit are very highly regarded in the state, Orange Beach and Gulf Shores have separated and have their own school districts now, and we also have a lot of private school options as well. So depending on the size of school that you're looking for, we have something for everyone. Christian, Catholic, college prep, and fantastic public school options throughout Baldwin County. One of the most common questions I get asked, or one of the most common complaints people seem to have from the areas where they're coming, is about HOAs. And I'll tell you, our HOAs are typically different from what you might be used to. An HOA here can be very basic, just taking care of entrance signs and have minimal rules in place, mainly just to protect the neighborhood's value so that values don't go down if a neighbor decides to do something that all the other neighbors aren't so much a fan of. So you'll have rules like whether or not you can park things in the driveway or they have to be behind a fence. If you have a shed, it has to be under a certain square footage, or sometimes it might have to be certain materials. But for the most part, our HOAs here are very lax compared to what most people are used to, and the dues here are very, very low. Average HOA dues here are going to range from about $400 to $800 if there's no amenities, and from about $800 to $1,300 if you're starting to see pools, gyms, or other things within the community. Oftentimes people come here saying that they don't want an HOA, and then they start looking around at the non-HOA homes and they quickly realize that they do want an HOA, they just want a minimal HOA. And we have a variety of those things so that you can find just the type of neighborhood that you want without overpaying. You might end up liking to have the option of going to a community pool or attracting visitors to come and see you who will use that pool if you don't. Mainly, you're going to like that the HOA does ensure some community standards, helping to maintain the property values, including some rules about basic lawn care, house paint colors, and a few other basic things. Neighborhoods can have HOAs if they are small and have only 20 homes, or they can have HOAs as big as 2,000 homes, and each one is going to be a little bit different. But don't assume that just because there's an HOA, it has high fees. That is not the case here. You might not want an HOA if you want to park your RV in your driveway, if you're really looking to keep your monthly expenses as low as possible, or if lime green is your favorite house color. But in any case, if you fall in love with a house, we can always get copies of the restrictions before you make an offer so you know exactly what you're buying into. If you're considering properties on the beach, HOAs are very important, and that is a whole different conversation. Beach condos can have very high assessments and high HOA dues, but typically that's because they include insurance, oftentimes water, cable, trash, lots of other things, and their amenities can get very extensive. They also will have more rules about pets, parking, and that type of thing if you're talking about condo living. And the last thing that you should definitely know about homeowners insurance here in Baldwin County is that gold fortification standards have changed the game. I am seeing homeowners quotes actually come in lower than ever this year. We are seeing homeowners quotes on brand new construction $350,000 homes as low as $1,100 or $1,200 a year. I've seen homes actually on the island of Gulf Shores that are gold fortified that are in the $600,000 range with quotes still under $2,000 a year right now. So a lot of people think that if you're near the water, that automatically means that your homeowners rates are going to be higher. And with these new gold fortification standards, that is simply not the case anymore. You really have to compare the age of the house, the age of the roof, the age of the systems, and whether or not you have a fortified roof, because that is the number one thing that's going to save you on your insurance when you're comparing houses. I was actually having a conversation with an insurance rep the other day, and we were talking about how this gold fortification is maintained and how it's changed insurances. And she was describing how the gold fortification actually helps because it's the sealing of the roof that keeps water from penetrating. So a lot of people think there are things about gold fortification that you have to make it gold fortified, and that has to do with the shingles on the roof, but it actually doesn't. It's all about keeping water out, because if you can keep water out, you can protect the house, and that's where a lot of that damage comes in. And now that they've figured that out, people are starting to save a lot of money on insurance again, no matter where your house is located. So that can be great news for you and something that you should be aware of if you're looking down here. Now let's talk about some of the nitty-gritty things about buying a house these days in 2026. The first thing that I want to mention is that the role of the real estate agent in 2026 has changed. There have been some new laws that have come into place that say that you have to have a buyer's agent to look at houses. Now, Alabama is different from other states, and our governor came in and said in order to look at a house, you do not actually have to sign a buyer agency agreement. However, there are still very good reasons why you should have an agent working for you, and you should feel confident working with a buyer's agent. There are 3 core agreements that are going to govern every single real estate transaction. That's the listing agreement between the seller and the listing agent. That's the buyer agency agreement between the buyer and the buyer's agent, me. And then that is also the purchase agreement, which is between the buyer and the seller. Now, that purchase agreement is going to outline a lot of important things in the transaction. Not only the address of the property, the price of the property, but also the earnest money. And one thing you should know down here is that the earnest money deposits compared to other places tend to be very low. We see earnest money oftentimes of $1,000, $3,000, or $5,000, depending on the price of the house. The contract will also outline the due diligence period. You will need a home inspection in Alabama. This is a buyer beware state, and home inspection, whether you're buying a new home or an already built home, is a very important part of the process, and one that I definitely recommend you pay close attention to. And as part of having the buyer agency agreement these days, you should be aware that all commissions are negotiable, and that particular term of the buyer agency compensation is a part of the contract between the buyer and the seller these days. It is negotiated just like the purchase price, just like the closing date, or any of the other terms of the contract. And if you have more questions about that, feel free to give me a call and I'm happy to break it down more for you. That does not mean that the buyers are necessarily always paying the buyer agency commission, and honestly, very rarely do we ever see that happen. But it can change the conversation, and it can change the strategy sometimes as you're negotiating the right price and the right terms for you. So how do you start to find the perfect place? Well, I recommend coming up with a needs versus want list before you get down here. What is owning a home here going to look like for you? What are you trying to accomplish? And what is your time frame? How are we lining up a home sale versus a home purchase if you have a house somewhere to sell? We do see a lot of contingency offers that are accepted here, but that's not always the case, and your situation could be one that's worth discussing. The best way to navigate that is through great communication with your agent. The other thing that's going to be an important part of your process is choosing and understanding the different types of loans that are available to you. I'm not saying that you should run out and get pre-qualified before you take a trip down to Baldwin County, because if you're looking at new construction, there are going to be different incentives for each individual builder to use their lender. But knowing what your options are, knowing the different types of loans that are available to you, having a rough idea of what down payment you might be working with or you might need to ask the seller to help with, is going to be a great part of those conversations with your agent. And knowing when to start shopping for a loan too. Timing can be everything, they say. And we're often able to negotiate closing costs and rate buy downs as part of a contract that can save you a whole lot more than just negotiating a purchase price. And that's a conversation that you'll also definitely want to have when you find the right house and you start looking at the numbers. People are often, though, very surprised here to see that our closing costs are typically a lot lower than other places as well. Closings take place at the title company here, and those closing costs can be much lower than some other states. We do have title insurance and we do have some other standard costs, but in general, it is another factor that makes buying a house here more affordable. And if you're buying a house with cash, well, those closing costs are very low, and that is just another benefit. So the takeaway today is maybe more simple than the information. Get a whole Baldwin County coastal picture of what you want: insurance, schools, access, and the right Baldwin County town is going to help pick itself. If you want the fastest savings, go for gold fortification. And if you have other questions, contact me. I'll be happy to put together a customized itinerary for your visit, and I'll be happy to send you this entire guide for you to take a look at and go over. So what are you waiting for? Baldwin County is here. It's wonderful. It is still growing, and there are lots of great places that you can discover. Until next time, I'm Amanda Eckart. Thanks for watching Living in Gulf Shores, and I'll see you on the next episode.